Hello and welcome to the United Stand. Manchester United out to Liverpool. Just looking at your live comments on there. We'll come back to that in a minute. A few of you moaning about Manchester United fans at Old Trafford still chanting United at the end because it makes Van Gaal appear and he will think that he's still well liked at the club. Probably did deserve to get booed. I'd be with you on that one. But first of all, let's talk about the actual game, because I think we are falling into a big trap, Manchester United fans, of accepting mediocrity. That was an absolute disgrace, that performance tonight, but it comes down to a few very simple things. You can't win games if you don't pick your best team. A lot of Manchester United fans like me at the moment are so frustrated, devoid of emotion an hour before every game when we see the starting lineup. This Manchester United side could have done great things tonight. It could have done great things all season, but he persists with picking an odd side. Liverpool, in that second half, have the game well and truly won. We needed to score 3 goals without reply to have any chance of doing it. We brought 2 full-backs on and a defensive midfielder. Liverpool brought 2 strikers on. It shows you exactly what the mentality of our club is. Also, Van Gaal, what happened in that second half? We needed 3 goals without reply in 45 minutes. I don't think we've scored 3 goals without reply in his whole 18 months. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you know where I'm going with it. What did he do in the second half? I will tell you what selfish, up his own backside, stubborn Van Gaal did. He protected his reputation. He knew if he went toe-to-toe with Liverpool like we needed to do, we'd lose the game, he'd get booed, and he didn't want that. So what he decided to do was sit back, get a draw, not lose the game, and keep some, well, the fans were chanting United at the end there, so the focus isn't on him. It's a disgrace. The starting 11 was an absolute joke. We can talk and laugh about Fellaini, but I'm going to get onto Fellaini in a minute. But I'll start off by saying he's a cancer within the club. He's an absolute disgrace. He's not good enough. And you know why I'm saying this? Because of this. He's wearing a Manchester United shirt and he's an absolute disgrace to it. Throwing elbows like that deliberately, he should be thrown out the club. No wages, no nothing. I don't want to see that in a Manchester United shirt. If you're going to do it in a Manchester United shirt, you better be Eric Cantona, you better be Roy Keane. You're not Marouane Fellaini. You're an embarrassment, mate, to the shirt, and you're throwing out elbows like that, basically wiping your arse with the shirt because you're a joke, an absolute joke. I accept it's not his fault he doesn't get picked, but he gets picked by Van Gaal, which brings me on to my second point. Varela. I've been saying for weeks that Varela is not a youth prospect. He's 23 this week, I think. He's not a youth prospect. He can't defend for toffee. I think he got skinned twice by Coutinho, but it's not his fault. It isn't his fault. He gets picked by Van Gaal over Darmian. Darmian should have been playing today. Darmian should play every week. He's Italy's right back. He's adjusting to the Premier League. He's a fantastic defender. Coutinho doesn't score that goal. We're 1 behind. We've got a whole second half to go into it. But what happens? Varela gets subbed off for Valencia because that's what Van Gaal does. That's Van Gaal's philosophy. If you're a youth player and you do well, it's all down to him. You make one mistake, he throws you under the bus. In fact, I guarantee his press conference, he'll come out and throw Varela under the bus because that's the sort of imbecile we have in charge. The selections, I thought Schneiderlin had been rested against West Ham for today. I thought actually that makes some sense. He wasn't rested against West Ham. He was dropped. He doesn't even get a minute on the pitch tonight. Memphis doesn't get a minute on the pitch. You know, our substitute bench tonight, 5 of those subs, 5 of them made up the 6 signings that Louis van Gaal himself made last summer. The only player to play was Martial, who apparently was a last-minute signing, as we know, who Giggs wanted and Van Gaal wasn't sure about. This man is in charge of Manchester United, and he doesn't even have confidence in his own bloody signings to play them. It's an absolute joke. Every week seems to me to be an audition to Ed Woodward to sack him, but Woodward just won't give him the role. Sack the fraud, sack Louis van Gaal. He's destroying Manchester United. And the dangerous thing I'm going to come on to now as we start looking at some of your comments is that Manchester United fans at the end are having a competition with Liverpool fans about who can chant the loudest. That's not going to make change at Manchester United, folks. It's going to make him stay longer. It's going to make idiots like Woodward think, rub his hands. Look at this lot. As bad as it is, they're still here. They're still chanting because they love the shirt. Well, if you love the shirt, you've got to make a change. You've got to have your voice heard in the right way because we are going. Liverpool are not a good side. They are not a good side. And over 2 legs, the first time we've played Liverpool in Europe, we lose it. The first time it actually matters when we play Liverpool and Louis van Gaal loses it. Oh, unbelievable. But let's have a look at some of your comments. Sack Louis van Gaal and put Giggs in for the rest of the season, as says Adam Lullis. Brilliant comment, Adam. I wanted to bring Giggs up. Sack Ryan Giggs, as far as I'm concerned. At what point are we going to stop saying he's a legend as a player, which he absolutely is? Love Giggsy as a player. But at what point are we going to say, how culpable are you, Ryan? That starting 11 that we all see an hour before the kickoff and I'm physically sick about, you're sat next to him. Do you not say anything? Well, if you're not saying anything, you're clearly bottleless and you shouldn't be in a job anyway. And if you are going along with it, then when he gets the sack, you should walk as well. I think there's massive question marks about Ryan Giggs. And I think he gets a free ride because he's a legend as a player. But he is as part of this as he was of Moyes. If he doesn't like it, he should have walked away. If he's still sat there, he's either weak or a part of the problem. And that's my opinion on Giggs. Don't want him anywhere near the club. He has to go. Lou Van Hal out says, Abu, come on, the boys played well today. Unlucky with the last-minute goal. Then what game you're watching, Jim? It wasn't a last-minute goal. It was a goal before half-time. And we had a whole half. Cam Neville, Pereira, brilliant point. Pereira, where's he? Janusaj, where's he? Lingard, the biggest game of the season, we decided to play Lingard, who a lot of people aren't convinced about, as number 10. And we put Mata on the right wing. I mean, what is all that about? If I didn't know any better, I would say it is sabotage of our club. It is absolutely farcical, some of the things he's doing. Rashford's dead on his feet. He plays in the full game. I think Van Hal wants to be sacked. I really do think he wants to be sacked because you look at it and you cannot understand what he is trying to do with our side. What is he doing? I mean, I've got some comments here about Bastian Schweinsteiger should have started, but there was 3 things we needed to do to come into this game. 3 things I was thinking. I didn't do the preview because Zara did it outside the Old Trafford, if any of you saw this. But there's 3 things you need to do as a manager of Manchester United or a manager of any organisation, but 3 things that Sir Alex Ferguson always did. 1, you set the tempo. You're Manchester United. Yeah, we're all at Old Trafford, but actually it doesn't matter if you're at Old Trafford or not. Manchester United are the biggest club in the world. We set the tempo. We didn't set the tempo. So that's 1 thing we didn't do. 2, you have a plan. You have a plan. This is the same thing that happened against West Ham. West Ham scored. He sat on his backside, colouring in for 15 minutes before he made the substitutions. If he'd made them sooner, we took hold of that game, we would have beaten West Ham. Today, we get that goal. All he's talking about is getting 2-0. Getting 2-0, then we'll go to extra time. Liverpool score a goal, 1-1. No reaction. He's got no plan for it. What was the plan if Liverpool scored? Because we didn't seem to have one. And also, you look at the players, they've got no confidence, and any walk of life will tell you this. You've got a negative voice and a positive voice on your shoulder. Manchester United, if you're listening to that negative voice, you're already outnumbered. You've got the negative voice, Liverpool, against your positive voice. And that's what it is. We are just bereft of confidence, and there's no positivity. And what we should have been doing out today, if I would have been in charge today, a lot of people said, what would you have done differently today? If I'd have been in charge today, I'd have had the same back four, but apart from Darmian at right back, I would have had Schweinsteiger, Carrick and Mata in the midfield, and I would have had, well, I might have played Schneiderlin actually instead of Carrick, as much as I thought Carrick was absolutely superb today. I would have played Lingard on the right because I don't think there's anything better. I would have played Martial on the left, and I would have played Rashford up there, and I would have had Fellaini driven down to Dover and thrown in the sea with a big breeze block round his foot. That's where he would have been playing for me today, because he's just an absolute joke. He's got no discipline. He should have been sent off twice in that game. And then he's playing the full 90 minutes for high balls. We've got Valencia who can't cross. We've got Darmian on the left who can't cross. We've got Martial who doesn't cross. And we've got Mata who doesn't cross. I mean, it's sabotage. It's absolute sabotage. But I've had my say. Let's have a look at some of yours. Just remember the game yesterday, Bayern Munich and Juventus, see how they were going. Yeah, different world, mate. Herrera was missed today. I don't know. I don't think he was really, to be honest. Mark, the subs, says Cam Neville. The subs were absolutely baffling. I thought, you know what? I can't get words out anymore. Champions League is gone. It's gone. We're not going to get anything against. We're not going to catch anybody in the league. He's going to. He should be sacked now. There should be somebody on the telly now. What really fears me, and I want to get you lot commenting on this. What I really fear is the fact that Liverpool are our biggest historical rivals, and we've gone out with an absolute whimper. And I can see and hear Manchester United home fan crowds there cheering United on. And I understand it to a certain extent, but I think we're past that now. This has been going on for months. Terrible football, terrible results. A manager who hasn't got a clue, who is just picking a name out of a hat every week, apart from Fellaini who starts. things have to happen now. Things have to happen. And cheering United on after performances like that. Rashford is a player of the future who could be really good, as could Martial. But it's beyond that now. These players aren't good enough. The players aren't good enough. They're not able to rise up to the occasion. The manager is a joke. Ryan Giggs, I'm sorry, you're culpable. The whole, Woodward, the board, everybody is culpable, and it's not good enough. And what are we going to do? We're going to sit there going United, United every week. It's not. This isn't Manchester United. And the longer this goes on, the further we've got to go to get back where we should be. It's not good. It is really worrying. The season's over. I thought we'd get through Liverpool. I didn't expect us to win the Europa League by any stretch of the imagination. But to lose to Liverpool, who I'll tell you now are not a very good side. The amount of ball they were giving away. I mean, Sturridge was awful. Coutinho was awful until the goal. We were getting a lot of joy down against Klein. We should have won that game. The reality is, as I said at the very start, you can't win football games if you don't pick your best team. And we don't pick our best team every week. Most of us know when the starting 11 comes out, we're going to really struggle. I knew that game was over, and I'm not a genius for saying that. I think most of you did as well. That game was over the minute that starting 11 came out. We went out with a whimper. That was Old Trafford. It was a morgue at the end. We're a disgrace, and I put that on the tweet. We are a disgrace, and I'm not happy to say it, but I'm honestly, truthfully saying it. And I don't know. I do not know what we do, because it's so bad. It's so bad. It makes me sick how bad it is. It is so bad. The selections, the way the clubs run, the effort of the players, the whole thing, it just needs ripping up and replanting and starting again. And Giggs cannot be involved, because he's been involved in this turgid, torrid turd of a football club for the last 3 years, and Ryan Giggs has been sat right next to it. Whether he's the next Pep or not, like Brian Robson goes on about, I mean, what's that all about? There's some sort of press being fed the press that Giggs should be the next manager. No, he should not. I'd give it Scholes, and even Gary Neville, even someone like that, but not Giggs. He is associated with this absolute crap, and he cannot have anything to do with it. And I think they massively underestimate fan support if they think they appoint Giggs and everyone's going to go, that's great. I think they mug us off anyway, but I really do think they underestimate the fans on that. Thanks everybody for watching. It is live obviously afterwards. I'm pretty emotional. I'm sure you lot are. Please drop us a like, subscribe to the channel. Please take the time to comment below after the video's gone, because I really do want to get your opinions on 3 things really. 1, Ryan Giggs. 2, the fans chanting at the end. I mean, what did you think about that? I know that will divide opinion. And 3, also, why did we lose that game? What would you have done differently? Because I'm baffled as to why I'm sat here as a Manchester United fan, picking a team that's better and seeing tactics that are better than somebody who's paid millions of pounds from it. And not just Van Gaal, Giggs, the assistants, the coaches, the board. People have paid billions of pounds from our pocket, essentially, and they haven't got a clue. They haven't got a clue. Disgraceful. And the fans are the only thing that keep me going. But we will be back. We will do a preview, obviously, for the Man City game. It's going to take a lot to lift us all. I think the fans will feel this more than that clown will, and a lot of the players. The players are culpable, but we can't judge the players until we change the manager, because this manager is so bad. It's so difficult to judge how good a player is when the tactics are so bad. I mean, we need 3 goals in that second half, and we basically played not to lose. That is what Manchester United have become. And I don't make any apologies about Fellaini. Whatever you think about him, the footballer, he's rubbish, but he is not good enough to be going around throwing elbows. He's not some tempestuous world-class talent like Cantona. He's not some hothead leader who will win us trophies like Keane. He's a bog-standard, championship standard footballer who is wearing a Manchester United shirt and should be bloody thanking the stars for doing that, not going around throwing elbows like an absolute thug. That's my piece said. Thanks for watching. We'll be live on Sunday for the derby. We're live all the way through the game watch, so join us for that. Interesting. But thanks everybody for watching. I don't feel any better for that rant. I feel absolutely sick, because losing to Liverpool actually matters to me, and I know it matters to you.